In the headlines, 5 inmates recaptured after Kogi Prison Break. Natasha's constituents submit petition to INEC for her recall. Cattle dealers seek government help in Ogun. And away from Nigeria, Angola relinquishes mediator role in DR Congo conflict. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. The Nigerian Correctional Service has confirmed the recapture of 5 out of 12 inmates who escaped from the Medium Security Custodial Center in Koton Karfe, Kogi State, following a security breach on Monday morning. The NCOS spokesperson Abubakar Umar disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday. According to the statement, the escape occurred while a group of inmates manipulated padlocks in one section of the facility, allowing 12 individuals to flee. Upon learning of the incident, the Acting Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuche, quickly mobilized a response in collaboration with heads of security agencies and the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Kogi State. Personnel were dispatched to secure the facility, restore order, and initiate a manhunt for the escapees. As of now, 5 of the 12 escaped inmates have been successfully recaptured, with efforts continuing to apprehend the remaining 7. The statement also noted that a comprehensive investigation has been launched to determine the circumstances surrounding the escape, while a nationwide security audit of all correctional facilities is underway to prevent similar incidents in the future. Earlier, the Acting Controller General briefed journalists.
We had a distress call this morning that there was an escape from Koton Karfe custodial facility. 12 of the inmates escaped from lawful custody, but as we saw, 9 of them have been recaptured. 3 of them have been recaptured, remaining 9, and they will also be recaptured for the search party. They are in town. All the exits have been cordoned off, and we are having very good synergy with all the security agencies to make sure that these inmates that escaped are recaptured.
Meanwhile, the federal government has ordered an immediate probe into the prison break incident at the Koton Karfe Correctional Center in Kogi State. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, gave the order on Monday, according to his aide, Babatunde Alao. In a statement, the minister described the incident as unfortunate and vowed to ensure all fleeing inmates are captured. The minister said his men would leverage the service's biometrics and deploy technology solutions to capture the escapees. Tunji Ojo also ordered the Acting Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, Sylvester Ndidi, to visit the facility in Kogi to evaluate the situation and commence a comprehensive audit to unravel the events that led to the incident. Some constituents of Kogi Central Senatorial District have submitted a petition to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the recall of Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, the suspended lawmaker representing the district in the National Assembly. The petition, presented by Charity Ijese on behalf of the constituents, was received at the INEC headquarters by the Commission Secretary Rose Anthony on Monday, March 24, 2025. The petition was titled Constituents Petition for the Recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan on grounds of loss of confidence. The constituents said the petition for the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is brought pursuant to Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, as well as INEC's regulations and guidelines for recall petitions. They affirmed that Akpoti-Uduaghan emerged by virtue of an appeal court decision in October 2023, but said the petition arose as a result of their loss of confidence in her representation.
Representative in the Senate, because as a people, we cannot afford not to have a representative in the Senate for another 1 year. We are members of our constituents, and we're saying we don't want her anymore because you cannot afford not to have a representative. So nobody is bankrolling. Well, we are the one that voted her, and we're saying we don't want her anymore. So we're not. Nobody is bankrolling. Nobody is having any personal issue with her. It is just what it is.
The suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and Kogi West Senator Sunday Karimi on Sunday engaged in a heated exchange over her suspension from the Senate. Karimi, a lawmaker from the All Progressives Congress (APC), defended Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension, describing it as justified and necessary due to the controversy surrounding her actions in the Senate. He argued that the incident that led to her suspension was embarrassing and had brought disgrace to Kogi State. In a statement to journalists, Karimi claimed that Akpoti-Uduaghan's conduct had validated former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello's concerns about her sustainability for the Red Chamber. Reacting to Karimi's remarks, Akpoti-Uduaghan dismissed his claims and called for periodic drug tests for senators. She suggested that such tests, conducted by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), would help prevent irrational decision-making in the Senate. Suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has refuted allegations linking him with militant groups, dismissing recent social media posts and videos as fake and malicious attempts to incite tension in the state. In a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Nelson Chukudi, Fubara condemned the circulation of fabricated videos purportedly depicting explosions at oil and gas facilities in the state. The statement clarified that affected communities have debunked the claims, assuring that all critical infrastructure remain intact and operational. Fubara restated his commitment to maintaining peace in Rivers State, emphasizing that governance and development can only thrive in a stable environment. He also warned against attempts to exploit the state's ongoing political crisis for ulterior motives. Fubara further cautioned bloggers and social media influencers against spreading false information, stating that their actions could escalate tensions and disrupt stability. The Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri has confirmed the kidnap of one of her priests, Reverend Father John Uba Echu, the parish priest of Holy Family Catholic Church in the Izombe Oguta local government area of Imo State. According to a statement signed by the Archdiocesan Secretary, Reverend Father Patrick Mbara, the priest was kidnapped on Sunday, March 23, 2025, along the Ijemekuru Road in the local government area while on his way to the priest's annual retreat. The Archdiocese called on all Christian faithful and all men and women of goodwill to pray for the quick and safe release of the priest. Meanwhile, the Imo State Police Command, through its spokesman Henry Okoye, says the Commissioner of Police, Anjuma Aboki, has launched an investigation into the incident and has directed an intelligence-led operation for the possible rescue and release of the priest unconditionally. He urged the public to help the police with any useful information that might aid the work of the police in securing the release of the abducted priest. Nigerian Army personnel have reportedly invaded Tungamaje in Gwagwalada area of the Federal Capital Territory in a bid to reclaim a disputed land from indigenous residents. Reports say the army stormed the community on Sunday evening, threatening to kill residents who failed to vacate their homes within 24 hours. In several online videos, residents were seen hurriedly packing their belongings, fearing that the military would demolish their homes. One of the affected residents featured in the video said the entire community is gripped by fear over the situation. The land dispute between the Nigerian Army and the Tungamaje community in the FCT has been a long-standing and contentious issue marked by claims of land ownership, legal battles, and community protests.
All their full stop, none of them could even have a sleeping at Epe community last night. For the fact that the Nigerian military end up disturbing us, threatening us, giving us quick notice, saying they will all kill us, they will come and demolish all our houses, including us, that we must depart. It started since last week. We thought it was a job. Every day they are here. Some weeks ago, they came and destroyed the buildings, the uncompleted building for us. Now, in our living rooms, in our sitting rooms, they all came this morning and began to threaten us that they will shoot us if we cannot pack our properties. In fact, all members of Epe communities under threat.
Still in the FCT, recent government demolitions of informal settlements or shanties to reclaim land and enforce development plans have left many residents displaced. In Abuja's Gishiri community, the Federal Capital Territory Administration's actions have sparked outcry and hardship. Such demolitions often stem from security concerns, building code violations, unauthorized construction, or the need to clear rights of way for infrastructure projects. Trust TV's Noel Sampson visited Gishiri to document the residents' experiences following the recent demolition. The report.
Adamunuhu and Enoch Dogu, both residents of Gishiri, shared their accounts of demolition and its aftermath. They described the events leading up to the destruction of their homes and the challenges they now face.
No, there was no notice before the demolition. There was not any notice that this is the day they are coming for demolition. No, they have not met us that they were coming for demolition, but they have been coming for it, capturing and numbering.
For how many years now?
For like that's just for that was February, March. That was when they started.
This year?
Yeah, this year. They have not told us the amount of the money they gave, but what with the money when they come for capturing, there are some people that have 1 room of curtain. Their money will be 100,000, some will be 200, some will be 400, some will be 90 naira. Like this house close to here, it was 98,000. We now say, okay, this money will not be enough for us for we to reallocate. Even the integration is saying we want to do. He now says yes, he have provide provision for us for a land that we will build. That is the minister. But what the FCDR people are telling us, we didn't understand. When they come, where they show us stuff, it is a swampy area that it cannot be able. The money they are giving to us for compensation cannot be able to make make provision for you to go and build another house somewhere and park to that place. The highest amount there is 12 million, 20 million. That is the highest amount.
For how many rooms?
For maybe like if you see 20 million, it may be like maybe 20 self-contained. So if you are having 4 rooms self-contained, you see the amount of maybe 4 million, 5 million, in which is not with the rent of things in the market now, it's very, very poor.
Look at us. We are sleeping outside with our children, our mothers. Eh? Some of us even lose our food stuff because of the demolition.
While it's on record that these demolitions are carried out occasionally, many have been wondering why displaced residents often return to these areas if no immediate alternative housing is provided.
Yes, we have no place to go. This is where our forefathers, they have like them born them here. We have inherit our forefathers' land. We have no other land. We have nowhere to go. This is where we're based. Like tenants now, if they demolish your house and you're a tenant, you can go somewhere else. You can go back to your place. But we have nowhere to go.
You know, they have been part and parcel of that place. There is a connectivity between the residents and such places. So most of the time, if they move from that place and they see that the government have not made any move of developing the place, definitely they are going to go back to that place because they feel they are being stripped away of, people used to feel that they have rights to places, even though they don't have that right. But they feel if the place is still vacant, they will still go back to that place since they feel it's their origin.
Relator Abdulaziz Pitiko emphasizes the need for clear legal frameworks governing demolitions.
What the government should always look at is how they can bring a better approach on how they can move these people out. For instance, now in one of our projects, there were Fulani settlers in our land. So what we did was we came and sat down with them. We discussed on how we can give them compensation and also give them ample time for them to relocate and find another space. That is just basically how this operation is supposed to be. In this case, I feel the government should create a law whereby when demolition issues arises, there should be a committee set up to handle this thing with utmost care, so that even the citizens of the country should feel relaxed when issues like this come.
Residents allege that they were offered as little as 87,000 naira in compensation but declined to speak on camera. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
This is news update on Trust TV coming up ahead. Young Nigerian loses sight overnight after mysterious illness. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. 5 inmates recaptured after Kogi Prison Break. And Natasha's constituents submit petition to INEC for her recall. And moving on to more stories, the cost of cattle in Nigerian markets has surged, driven by several factors, including import expenses, the removal of fuel subsidies impacting transportation, and general inflation. As a result, butchers in Ogun State are reporting a significant increase in prices with a scarcity of cattle in the market. Cattle dealers attribute the high cost of seasonal fluctuations and the increased expense of transporting animals from the north to the south. Trust TV's Abbas Alibi reports.
Checks in markets across the state indicated that medium-sized cows now sell between 600 and 700,000 naira, while large cows exceed 1 million naira. Mohammed Bammi, the Sarkin Fulani of Ogere International Cattle Market, a cattle rearer and a dealer, attributes the price increase to seasonal factors, rising transportation fares, and the lack of sustainable grazing land.
Due
to the scarcity of favorable grazing land in Nigeria, many herders are migrating to neighboring countries like Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic. This contributes to the scarcity of animals and consequently the higher prices of cows in the markets.
Aliyu Abubakar, another cattle dealer, expressed concern over the soaring price, noting that the increase originated from the northern region, where they typically purchase cattle in bulk.
This price increase may be linked to the falling value of the naira and the rising cost of food items. Previously, a herder could sell one cow to purchase a bag of grain or other food items, but now they need to sell 3 or more.
Aliyu added that smaller cows are now sold between 300,000 and 500,000 naira. Medium-sized cows range from 700,000 to 1 million naira, while large cows range from 1.5 to 2 million naira. Marjet Olorushogbo, a butcher from Abeokuta who is at Ogere International Market to purchase cows, reported a scarcity of cows and expressed fear of business closure as cost of cow reaching 2 million has significantly reduced profit margins, making business sustainability challenging.
What we used to buy for 700,000 naira not long ago is now 900,000 naira. After slaughtering the cow, we barely make a profit. The scarcity of animals in most cattle markets in Ogun and Lagos State is a major problem.
Cattle marchers and butchers in Lagos and Ogun State have called on the federal government to intervene and prevent the collapse of the livestock sector. They suggest government funding for meat production, the disbursement of palliative loans to butchers, and subsidizing transportation costs, among other measures. From Abeokuta, Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV.
Nelson Ayuba, a 29-year-old public health graduate, lost his sight within 24 hours due to a sudden fever and headache. The tragedy struck during his NYSC service just 6 months after his wedding. Despite the hardship, Nelson is learning new skills while his wife struggles to provide for them. Trust TV's Hassan Koli visited him to explore his challenges and hopes for the future. The report.
A young man full of dreams had just begun his life with his new wife when, in a single day, his world went dark laterally. Nelson was a healthy and ambitious public health graduate serving under NYSC with hopes of building a bright future. But just 6 months into his marriage, a sudden fever and headache changed everything. Within 24 hours, he lost his sight completely.
After we finished camp, I was posted to Kankia local government, Kankia local government, College of Kankia local government, to continue with my youth service there in College of Health Sciences and Technology, Kankia. So from there, I took permission in order for me to come back home, arrange and go back for my service, in which they have granted me the permission. Then I go back. Only 5 days I spent in Kankia local government. It just started like fever and headache. So they are kind of very serious fever and headache. Before I was rushed to hospital, I lost my sight, both the two sides, bilaterally. So everything happened within 24 hours, fever and excessive headache. So that resulted to the loss of my vision. Life became very tough because all my NYC allowance, me and my wife, we all spend it in treatment and we have nothing doing. We are not working. So there's this package, even now I forgot to tell you, I apply, there's this package in NYC scheme service called Hope for Life Initiative Package. I applied for it and recently they said I'm shortlisted, I'm still expecting. So life became very tough, like I said. I don't have anything doing. My wife, she's the only one that's supporting me. She bought a grinding machine. It's the grinding machine that she normally used to grind, and we use it for our food, health and everything.
Doctors and specialists have struggled to determine the cause of his sudden blindness, but no clear diagnosis has been given. Despite this, Nelson refuses to let his condition define him. With the support of his wife, who is now scarce for both him and their child, Nelson is learning new skills and hopes to start afresh if given the right support.
I made to understand my sight. I did not restore. I've begun to conquer questions. Why? When should I come out of? I begin to ask myself, how can I create a meaningful life out of this? How can I build a good environment for myself, for my family, so that my own child will not grow up and see his father begging? I denounce that even from the day one. So I remember a story of this person, Helen Keller, who she is blind and deaf. Now today she has a foundation. That story encouraged me the most. And I still remember there's one of my mentor, Dr. Ishaku Adamu. Now he's an executive secretary, Commission Person with Disability, Gombe State, who's in 7 years, he lost his sight. Now today, he's a doctorate degree holder. So I become very optimistic. I said, I must do something to create a meaningful life. I now have a specialist coming to my house. I pay him, coming to teach me on how to use my hand to write and read, which is, we call it Braille. And from there, he said there is need for me to learn typewriter and computer. Now, it's sufficient. Last 1 month, I finished undergoing my typewriter class. I can use typewriter to type everything I want to type. Now, I'm trusting God to move on in order for me to go and study computer, know how to operate computer, do everything with computer, so that I can continue doing every normal things as every normal individual is doing, because I believe that there is special ability in disability.
For Nelson's wife, life has never been more difficult. She has dealt with pregnancy, passing of her mother, and her husband's sudden disability all at once.
Well, many things happened. Life were not easy for me. I faced many challenges. I see a lot in my life. When my husband got blind, we reached how many days we did not see food to eat. but we still thank God for everything. I stood by him. I said I will never leave my husband. At the process, I even lost my mom, my beloved mom. She's the only helper. Anytime I call her, she will respond to me. So at this incident, I lost my mom. So which things were too much for me. I was kind of confused. Life were not easy for me. Then my husband will be talking to me. At times, if I do something small to him, he will react to me very well. It's not his fault. That is what I used to tell myself. It's not his fault because I know what is running inside him. He's not finding it easy. So I understand. I was stood by him. I'll just keep quiet and leave him. Then many of my friends, they will come and stay with me. Later on, they will come and be complaining that they cannot stay, or if they are the one, they will not stay. I'm trying. They will give me many advice for me to leave my husband. What if I leave my husband and marry another person? And that person, did I know where he gets all those things that I'm thinking my husband cannot provide for me? Did I know where he gets it? Did I know the source? Did I know what will happen to me? What if I leave him and go to another place? I tell myself, no. I'm ready to stay with him. My husband is a nice person. He has been trying for me. Because of his condition, can never make me leave him. I promise myself that I will never leave him till death.
Nelson dreams of furthering his skills and securing financial assistance to start a business or find a new career path. He hopes that organizations and well-meaning individuals will come to his aid. The road ahead is uncertain, but his determination remains unshaken. With the right support, he believes he can turn this tragedy into a story of triumph. Hassan Kohli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
And away from Nigeria, Angola on Monday announced it would withdraw from its role as mediator in the conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, in order to focus on its presidency of the African Union. Angolan President João Lourenço was named mediator by the African Union in 2022 in an attempt to pacify the protracted conflict involving the Rwanda-backed M23 armed group, which recently launched a lightning offensive and seized large swaths of land in mineral-rich eastern DRC. The Southern African country took up the rotating presidency of the African Union 2 months ago. Since the end of 2021, a half-dozen ceasefires and truces have been brokered before being broken in short order. Long-awaited peace talks scheduled to be held in Angola's capital on March 18th were cancelled at the 11th hour when the M23 pulled out following EU sanctions on some of its top brass. The same day, the government of Qatar unexpectedly announced it has hosted Rwanda President Paul Kagame and his Congolese counterpart Felix Tshisekedi for talks. The two heads of state, who have long been at odds with each other, reaffirmed the commitment of all parties to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, Qatar said in a statement released after the secret meeting. And with that, we wrap up news updates on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms for more programs, news, and documentaries. My name is Dorcas Yakubuzala. Bye for now.